As temperatures begin to drop in northwest Arkansas, local organizations are stepping up to assist those without shelter. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach spoke with nonprofits today about what challenges the cold can bring and how the community can help.
Quinn Emmett with the NWA Continuum of Care says his organization serves as a central connection point for those experiencing homelessness.
I would identify what the particular need is, whether that's food or housing or transportation, and then I would refer them out accordingly to the agency that can best provide that kind of assistance.
Emmett says winter weather creates additional challenges for those living without shelter.
There is a region-wide winter weather response that we do once the temperature reaches 15 degrees in the area. We do have agencies in the area, specifically Seven Hills and Salvation Army, that will take in folks that are especially vulnerable this weekend for the cold snap.
He also reminds the community that helping those in need shouldn't just be a concern when it's cold outside.
This problem doesn't exist just for winter weather, and it doesn't exist just because the COC or myself happen to get a lot of phone calls or concern at that point. The concern should be all of the time because these problems are very real.
At Genesis Church in Fayetteville, Outreach Director Joshua Park says they're partnering with organizations like Seven Hills and the Salvation Army to collect winter supplies.
If you live in the outdoors in northwest Arkansas, it's going to get cold, it's going to get wet, it's going to be difficult.
They're asking the community for donations to help keep people safe.
Sleeping bags, blankets, warm clothes, jackets, all of those kinds of things, making sure they have access to food, making sure they have access to the resources that they need.
Park echoes that needs exist year-round, but says winter months can quickly turn serious.
When winter comes, it becomes more of an acute conversation, more of an acute problem, where they are looking at things that go beyond uncomfortable into dangerous, oftentimes life-threatening situations.
And every act of kindness makes a difference.
If you just have one coat, if you just have one meal, if you just have one anything, that's helpful for somebody. That's going to help somebody to get to that next place.
Covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Genesis Church is also partnering with the city's Coordinated Response to Extreme Weather team. The church will provide space and volunteers once the temperature reaches 15 degrees or below. Well, we learned today a car dealership in Charleston sustained some damage in a fire. Smoke was reported coming out of Hug Chevrolet GMC around 10:35 last night. The owner of the dealership said the fire is believed to be started from a cordless device on a workbench in the service department. He says the building wasn't consumed by flames, but tools and some equipment took some damage. The owner says he's extremely grateful for a response from 5 different agencies.
Response by the local volunteer fire departments was business as usual. They respond quickly and effectively. They work together. Shortly after 11, I was in the building, and this thing was contained, and it could have easily taken in the building and maybe other buildings.
No injuries were reported, but the owner says a few customer vehicles were also impacted. Business will be open almost as usual on Monday. We got some numbers this week from the Arkansas Department of Finance. The state is seeing record amounts of medical marijuana sales. According to spokesperson Scott Harden, Arkansans spent more than $240 million on medical marijuana in 2025. That's $13 million more than this time last year. The Department of Health reports over 112,000 Arkansans have active medical cards. 37 dispensaries have active licenses to sell medical marijuana in the state, and 6 are located in our viewing area. Meanwhile, we've learned 2 Jefferson County jail inmates are dead after a stabbing incident while in custody. It happened at the Dub Brazel Adult Detention Center this afternoon. Officials say a fight broke out between several inmates. Both Darian Williams and Jonathan Danyard Harris on your screen were stabbed with, quote, foreign objects. According to the sheriff's office, at least 2 other detainees believed to have been involved have been identified and will be interviewed as part of the ongoing investigation. The jail was placed on lockdown as part of protocol. And a Van Buren County man has been charged with first-degree murder in the death of his 68-year-old father. ASP says they responded to a home in Shirley this week and found Russell Branscombe dead in his own residence. Police say they later arrested Branscombe's son, Brian Branscombe, at a hotel in Hot Springs. The body's been transported to the Arkansas State Crime Lab, and police are now investigating the cause of death. And a community trying to stay hopeful tonight as a Yell County teenager is still missing after nearly a week. Friends and family turned heartache into action today, organizing a search. Carter Thweet tells us how the town of Ola is searching for Hector Barrientos.
Lord, please give us some closure.
A crowd of around 50 coming together in Ola, Arkansas Saturday. Susie Walker leading them in a prayer.
I want to lift up everybody that's holding in this circle right now, Lord.
Before beginning a search.
I had Hector in preschool, so he's been here all of his life.
And he's made friends like Peyton Mullins, who organized this search. He says state police and local officials have made efforts since Hector went missing Sunday, but he too felt like he had to do something.
And Hector was always there whenever we needed him, so that's why we're here, because he needs us.
The week-long disappearance taking a toll, says Walker.
If you could see them this week, it's killing them. Not knowing where their friend's at, not knowing when you go from playing a video game with him and dropping him off and then not hearing from him again.
Barrientos played football at Two Rivers High School and is just 19 years old.
He might mess with you from time to time, but like he's always there when you need him. Like if you needed Hector, then you can go talk to him, and it doesn't matter if he was like tired, if he was this, if he was that, he would talk to you.
His friends around the same age say they won't stop until they've found him.
If we don't find him today, we'll hit out the Danville direction and then the Dardanelle direction and then the Queso direction and just whatever directions we got to go until we find them.
An entire community is hoping that's soon.
Please help us all to come back together with good news.
That was Carter Thweet reporting. Arkansas State Police say Hector was wearing blue pants, a black hoodie, and gray Nike shoes when he was last seen. If you know anything, you're asked to call the Yell County Sheriff's Office. And as the government shutdown continues into historic territory and SNAP benefits in the month of November remain frozen, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders announced she'll contribute more state funding to food banks. The governor's office announced another $500,000 will be directed to food banks, and more could be on the way weekly if the shutdown continues. The funding will be sent to Arkansas Hunger Relief Alliance, who will then distribute to 6 Arkansas food banks. That includes the Northwest Arkansas Food Bank and the River Valley Regional Food Bank. As the Senate works through the weekend to try to reach a resolution to end the shutdown, the nation's air travel industry is feeling a lot of the impact. Andreas Gutierrez reports from the Los Angeles airport.
Tonight, long lines and frustration from coast to coast. Airports are under strain. The FAA ordering airlines to cut flights up to 10% at 40 of the nation's busiest airports by Friday. What do you make out of all these cancellations and delays?
It's not what we want it to be. Try and make your flight and be prepared for some gate changes like we're checking constantly.
New York's JFK, Charlotte, and Chicago slammed by staffing shortages. Air traffic controllers working with no pay during the shutdown are calling out sick. Today, there were delays of more than 4 hours at Newark Airport in New Jersey and up to 2-hour delays at San Francisco.
It seems like there's a lot of cancellations on these connecting flights, so yeah, I'm definitely a little bit nervous.
Southwest, United, Delta, and American Airlines have the most cancellations today.
Aviation is so critical to the U.S. economy, to our traveling public, and it's just imperative that we get the government back open.
U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says reducing congestion is the only way to keep the skies safe.
They're the ones that are working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. You can do that for a couple weeks, but at one point you're going to get burned out, and that's what we're seeing now.
Secretary Duffy warns a number of flight cuts could double to 20% if the shutdown drags into Thanksgiving. Your message to lawmakers up in D.C.
I hope you guys get it right, man. Get it together.
Now, travelers are urged to check their flight information early and often. You should know that many airlines are waiving their rebooking fees, but if this all messes up your plans and you don't want to rebook, you are entitled to a full refund. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Los Angeles.